Well, hello everybody. My name is Frank, and this is a special video or live about certain ways to practice your instrument. And I've noticed that a lot of the times um, that's a big gap. Like, all right, so I know how I need to learn the scales. I know I need to learn arpeggios. I need to learn chords, but how do I practice them in a way that is actually going to be effective? And right, that's sometimes the tricky part because that's usually where we can see people, saying like, "Well, I mean, I learned it, but I don't really know it." Like, I mean, somebody taught me that once some time ago, but I don't know it. And man, it's totally fair. So one thing that I do believe it's in repetitions, right? So you gotta, I mean, practice. It's basically a thing about repetition, and then of course the metronome will be a pretty good friend in every single way. I still use it. I mean, this is the same one I've been using since I don't know. I don't even know, but it's well over 10 years old. Um, so this one, I mean, right now I'm going to lower it down because the one thing I do a lot is I practice in super slow tempos. Right, like that one right there will be 30, will be 40. So I'm gonna actually mute it really quick. So now, how do I practice things, right? So if I gotta practice something that involves me moving across the fretboard, then my exercises they all need to be exercises that are gonna go across the fretboard. So that's something that is very important to understand. So if I wanna master the key of G, right, then you know I want to make sure that I get my scale right. So essentially, through the scale is how I'm able to kind of manage moving across the fretboard with it. Another good way it's arpeggios, right? So a G major arpeggio. I'm sorry, right? Um, sorry, right, and so on. Hmm, right. So arpeggios. So that's the G one. Um, so that's one more thing. Like I'm just going across the fretboard on being able to move across the fretboard. If I want to learn or work with the pentatonic scales, right? Um, so yeah, that's another thing to practice. So and this right here, I'm trying to focus on just staying in one key and what can I do with that key, like how much I can get out of that key, right? Then if I'm gonna be improvising, right? Then that's when I can come with, all right, so what are my possibilities, right? So kind of get I then get familiar with the color of the chord itself, how it sounds, and usually a major seventh. Then I can play I can go on D or I can go on G. Any of those two scales. And I'm talking about scales. I'm trying to keep it simple, right? But the truth is that I'm looking at it either as a major chord or as a Lydian chord, basically. So Lydian being adding that sharp 11, right? Right. So that's kind of what a Lydian sound is gonna give to it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's essentially all moving across the fretboard. So if I know I'm gonna be moving between G and D, then I need to understand where my scales are, right? Right. So from here, that's my G scale, but then from here, this is my D scale, right? Same from here, my G scale and my D scale. From here, my G scale, my D scale, my G scale, my D scale, my G scale, my D scale, D scale, right? So I, for me to understand that, then I get these two scales and I just take them all across the fretboard. So same, my G pentatonic scale. I'm sorry, my D pentatonic scale, my G pentatonic scale, my D pentatonic scale. Same from here, my E pentatonic. I'm sorry, my Now my D pentatonic. From here, my G pentatonic, and then my D pentatonic. Same here, my G pentatonic, then my D pentatonic, right? And then after I have that, like I I was able to work on the different scales that I'll be using here for this particular one. Um, so now it's a matter of putting them together, right? So that those are like of course pentatonic. There's another pentatonic scale that I can apply to the major chord. That'll be the A pentatonic, and that's because the A pentatonic it's going to give me the ninth of the chord. It's gonna give me the third of the chord. It's gonna give me that sharp 11, which is it's going to give me then the sixth of the chord, and then it's going to give me that major 7. So it sounds pretty cool. Right. So now I have another element to kind of practice, right? And on my G major chord, so now I have A pentatonic. So where's my A pentatonic, right? So from here, here, right? Then here, here, right? So now I have another scale that I can apply, and I was able to just uncover everything. And yeah, I mean, I'm focusing only on G and on a G major scale, right? Because if we were going to talk about minor, then minor will be slightly different. I mean, yeah, slightly. So if I were to talk about G minor, right? So I will get that G minor pentatonic, but then from minor, what scales I can use, right? That minor scale, right? Then I can play the D minor, which that'll make this give it a Dorian sound. Right, so then I have the blues, right? Which that's kind of that minor. Um, but then I have the D minor, right? The blues, right? Now, what happens? You can start putting stuff together, and again, it's all across the fret. We want to do that all across the fretboard, right? That'll be the blues one. Um, but then something I do a lot is I mix scales. So I can come with like this Dorian scale, and then I just did like I mixed it with the blue scales, so it'll give it a pretty cool sound. Right? But essentially, you wanna we wanna bring that across the fretboard. So we have that minor scale, so G minor. Sorry, I'm sorry. Right? Yeah. So I also have the D minor. Let me finish. Right? And so on. Right? So you get the concept. It's essentially I learn all my scales and then I start to applying them and go um, across the fretboard. I just grab a key, start working, and then if I go with like uh, I'm sorry, like this the dominant chord. What can I play on a dominant chord, right? So we know that I can go with that blues on that dominant chord, right? But then I can think about that so having that blues, having the mixolydian. I'm sorry, right? Depending on what I'm playing, then I could sometimes go with like so that'll be like the harmonic minor of a uh, C harmonic minor, or I typically on dominance that specific scale I look at it as a mixolydian flat six, flat nine. Every time I see that specific scale, I think about dominant immediately. I never think about the minor because even when I'm dealing with a minor major chord, then I go immediately to the melodic minor, right? So that's why I never think about the harmonic minor. Not that you can't play it, but I mean, melodic minor to me sounds better. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm talking about melodic minor on dominant chord. There's the you can think about the doing C, so you can do the half step melodic minor. That'll be like a E flat melodic minor. Right. So um, really, it's all about how you combine them, like how you get all those different sounds and start mixing them. So I mean, this is pretty cool too. Right. So if I'm gonna do like that 2/5 progression, um, right? So it's gonna give it another sound to it. So yeah, I mean, just different, just there are different approaches to it, right? So that's the half step hopes half whole diminished scale, which it has its sound as well. I mean, especially here, right? So you know, um, it all comes down on how you can practice different things. So and learning the different shapes, running through them across the fretboard. I mean, you can set up a vamp. Like if you like right now, if you have Logic, Logic is pretty cool because Logic will give you, the option to write a chord, build the drums, get like a drums groove going, get a bass going, and you get this piano bass and drums, and you can improvise over that. So that's a pretty cool thing to do. And then, you know, same thing, just play on one chord, go through it across the whole fretboard. Don't get yourself too complicated with things. Um, and then you start, you know, once you have that, then you start mapping your way to what you're trying to accomplish. Eventually, there are times where you're gonna get to chords that it's just a specific sound, right? So like, this chord to me is a Phrygian chord. Like, there's no other scale I can think of other than the Phrygian or Mixolydian flat nine scale. Right. So that's this is gonna be like a Jesus for flat nine or so. Yeah, I mean, just different ways, you know. Um, Fortunately, I wish I can read the comments while live. I can't. Um, but if you find this interesting, yeah, I mean, just drop your comment there. Let me know, if there's any other content you would like me to bring or um anything else you think you're like kind of interested into looking at or learning. And yeah, I'll do another practice session night. Um, yeah, we can. I'll bring some stuff for sure. So anyhow, um, thank you and enjoy the rest of your night. Appreciate you all.